What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project, the Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC, looking very, very beautiful down here. One of the most exclusive and luxury compact luxury coupes of the 80s you could get your hands on. Really showed that you were successful if you could get one of these. They were pretty awesome. Let's talk about ours a little bit. It is just a standard edition. There isn't any variants of all of these Mercedes as of yet. There may be in the near future. I don't know that from anyone in particular. That's just my guess, by the way, just putting that one out there. We did get this one from the auction. It's from the good auctions. Everything is above 60%. It's pretty good. This one's got a brand new engine of the V8 M117 engine with 389 factory and horsepower on there today. We're obviously going to be increasing that with our performance parts. Squeeze as much as we can from this beautiful little 560 SEC. Did we get a good deal? No, we didn't. Almost 25,000 short, as we were for the previous Mercedes, that lovely little Pagoda. 92,040 is what I paid, and I could only sell it as it is right now for 67,299, losing out on 24,741. There we have it. That's what we're going to get me stuck into today. We will be heading over to the paint shop, check out the liveries, getting this as tuned and as high-powered as this beautiful engine will allow it to go. Here there are some performance parts still missing, but this always happens with a new DLC. Things get missed. They're only human beings working on it. It's going to happen. It'll get added, hopefully soon. If not, we'll just have to wait until the meantime. But there we go. This is our project for today. Make this as powerful and as fast as we can. But to get started, let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash with the 560 SEC. Not that dirty, but we're still going to clean it anyway. It's just a good practice. Get that done. I don't like this browny, goldy, beigey, horrid colour on there, so that definitely won't be staying today. Not my cup of tea. I know a lot of Mercs came with this colour on back in the day. Champagne, I believe it was actually called. That's just come to my head then. I believe this was called Champagne as the colour, but it's just, yeah, even with all the scratch marks, I just don't like it. We will definitely be changing that once we've seen the liveries coming in today, but let's get this one back on the lift, start tearing everything down. First time getting underneath this brand new V8, checking for that oil pan. So let's see what we got going on under here. Well, the oil pan is definitely there. So let's just go and grab that and get that drained out quickly. And then we'll jump in just a second. Out you come. Very clean. Again, I forgot a lot of it as well. I forgot to check how many kilometers were on there. Let's just have a quick look. 110,000 for that clean. Apparently, people like to look after their Mercedes. So there we go. Let's jump in and have a look. What have we got? It isn't front-wheel drive. It is just rear-wheel drive, as we expected with this one. So let's get this a beautiful drive shaft out of here. Look at that exhaust down there. That's got some funky stuff going on with it, hasn't it? Let's take a look at that one in a moment. We will pull it out before we rip the engine out anyway. So let's just get you out of there. Jump into this little starter up here. Out you come. And then the gearbox. Is it just me, or is that fuel filter mounted in a funny way? They're not normally that way, are they? They're normally sideways. But there we go. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. What have we got on up here? Looking pretty good. I do like the look of this engine. We'll just have to see what it's like when we build it back up a little bit later on. But let's grab all of this exhaust out of here. Starting down at the very back, we've got these lovely little pipes with the blockage in there. And then this bit here with the resonator. It's that perfect tone, I guess. Pretty awesome on there. Out with the middle exhaust, and then we'll grab these front exhaust sections as well. Just for good measure, let's get this engine ripped out of here and see if we got everything, or if I'm going to have to remove something else like I did with the Pagoda. Let's have a look. Over we go. Can we get you out first try? Let's have a look. We can. I did do everything right. It's nice to do it every now and then. Let's get in, and what have we got in here then? So we've got a coolant reservoir, brake servo, and the wishy-washy reservoir, along with a power steering reservoir. They all need to be drained. But we do have the ABS pumper module, an ECU, a Type B, battery, radiator without a fan housing kit, and a lovely little fuse box just down here as well. Also got the fuel pump and the fuel tank down the back there. We'll grab out the fuel pump while we're here. And that's pretty much it. We need to get all of these liquids drained, so let's crack on with that very quickly. You know the drill by now. A right-click, additional tools, a drain tool, click on hold on the container. And when we come back, everything will be stripped and we'll be on the bodywork. That's everything mechanical, repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on our 560 SEC. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get the wide-body hammer version of this one? That would be epic, but we do just have the normal one. So let's get it all stripped off, see what we've got going on here. Lovely hood. Oh, bumper and headlights there, along with the right fender and the left fender. Out with the door, windscreen. What else do we have in here? Any side skirts? this a piece? No. Out with that body window. Rear bumper, off you come. Then we've got the trunk, the tail lights. Grab that license plate as well, and the rear window. And I think that's probably going to be everything for this little beast here. Let's get inside and get the interior out. Oh, new bench seat as well as front and rears. That's cool. And probably a new steering wheel as well. It is indeed. I do like that. Lots of new stuff going on here. Have we got everything? Down to 1% on there. And nothing showing up there. The frame's at 64%, and I bought the car for 92,000. I'm going to say 1,800. 1,500, not far off. Getting a little bit better at that. But let's check out the shop for the SEC. Nothing in here, sadly. Bit of a shame, no body tuning parts, but the normal shop just here. This is the one we've got. That's everything you can get for it. No alternative parts, unfortunately. It just goes back together as it came, sadly. Maybe someone will do the hammer body kit to go on this one, and that'll be pretty epic. But that's what we're going to go for. Let's get all of this repaired, get it all back together, head over to the paint shop, and check out the beautiful liveries for this beautiful SEC. Let's get this one all back together then, and make sure we have got everything. All of the body panels were repaired. We only had to replace the windows, the lights, and the mirrors on there. So let's just get all of these on. Lovely fenders, all straightened out, looking very good. Now, in with the headlights, in you go, and in you go there. On with the windshield, and then we've got the lovely doors on the side here with the windows and the mirrors. On we go. Forgot I was like, why is that in silver, not in the champagne colour? That's because I bought it new. But it just took me a minute to figure it out. There we go. In with the trunk, bumper, and these lovely rear tail lights. I do love the look of the Mercedes body styling. They are pretty good. In we go, in we go, on you go. Oh, can't hold it for long enough. There we go, and on you go there. For the license plates today, obviously our VM plates with a 560 SEC on them, looking pretty good. Round to the front, let's get you on there, and then let's get this interior in as well. Lovely new rear bench seat there for the SEC, looking pretty good. And also some lovely front seats. We will try and put some colour on these a bit later, see how they turn out. Depending on what we've got, whether they'll be split colours, single colour, so on and so forth. We will check all of that out a little bit later. But that should be everything. Let's have a look. Have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this beautiful little car into the paint shop. Check out the liveries and what we can do with the different colouring on the seats and the wheels. Here we are then in the paint shop with the 560 SEC in its factory whatever colour this is meant to be. Not a big fan of it. Let's check out the other factory colours. We've got a metallic-y silver on there. Not too bad. A lovely black. Then that champagne-y colour. Then a deeper of that sort of champagne-y colour. Then this sort of metallic purpley blue, which I quite like. Got a lovely little light gloss blue on there. Then this in-your-face, I don't even know what colour that's meant to be. Sort of a gold tinge, but not so much. Then this nice metallic blue. Then we've got this sort of like lighter tealy sort of colour looking good there, and then a solid red. I quite like this, but not in the metallic. I change it to matte, and it gives a really nice finish on there. Quite liking that, looking smart. But let's check out the liveries. Slot number 1 is the off-centre stripe with the Mercedes logo. It doesn't go front to back, just on the hood. Does it go all the way down? It does go all the way down, though. Slot number 2 is in white. Slot number 3 is in yellow, and that is all of them. Okay. Was expecting a little bit more there, but that's what we're going to go for today in the black, the matte black, and the matte blue on there. Looking pretty good. Let's get you painted. On we go. That's definitely the colour combination we're going with today. Are we going to change a few little bits, such as these mirrors are considerably darker, so maybe they'll go black. I don't really like them in that sort of, they're not matched, so maybe we'll just go with a matte black on them. Then the underside is a darker blue anyway, but I kind of like that, so we're going to leave that as it is. We're not going to go in and try and change any of that. Looking pretty good. Seats-wise, I am going to try and put a bit of blue colouring on this seats. We do have a considerable amount of brown and sort of this beigey colour in the middle there. So if we can take the brown out of the seats and make it look a bit lively in there, that would be cooler. Engine bay is very blue, so we're going to have a bit of black and a bit of blue on that engine. Maybe a few other colours. Maybe we'll keep some chrome again. We shall see as we play around with that, and obviously the suspension. Well, we're just going to have to figure it out as we go. I've got a lot of painting to do. Just want to check out the trunk. I've got a lot of painting to do, so I'm going to crack on and get that done. Get this one back on the lift. Next time you see it, we'll start pitting it together, the suspension, before going to build that beautiful V8 engine to go in there. That's everything painted, ready to go on the 560 SEC. We've blacked out the mirrors on there. They're looking a little bit better. We've also got some lovely blue on that interior, looking great with a completely blacked out steering wheel on there. Looking awesome. Very pleased with that, but let's get it up in the air. We got the suspension to get together. Now, I have splashed a little bit of white in here as well. I'm saying it now because the shocks are them. White shocks, blue springs, black caps on there. The metallic blue on the springs is very dark. It almost looks black on there, but trust me, it isn't. We got a lot of metallic blue under here, so let's get in and get started. The front cross member in that lovely metallic blue. It is very dark on here, but it is just what it is. Liking it quite dark. It's a lovely looking colour. Front knuckles also in the blue, and then we got the sway bar in the black and the steering rack also in the black. With the lower suspension arm in that metallic blue. It is a lot of metallic blue. Not so much alternating colours today. Just making it look good in a blue. Inner tie rod in the blue. The outer tie rod in a black. Little bit of colour combination going on there. The front axle knuckle cover is also in the blue. Then the wheel hub is in a little black on there. Let's just get that in. And that bearing in. We'll put the shock in now so we can get a few other bits in. Looking good up there. And as we go up, you can sort of see a little bit more of the blue. It's still very dark. But you can just see a little bit of it. Sway bar end link in black. On we go there. And then we've got the wheel hub cap also in black. Brake disc on, brake pad in, and then brake caliper in a chromed blue. Looking pretty good on there. Liking that. Looking awesome. That's the front end done. Let's get down the back if I can get there. We'll use that exhaust. Rear suspension cross member, obviously in that matching blue. Looking pretty good in there. In with the bushings so that we don't forget. Don't forget. Never forget. Always remember the bushings. Rear sway bar in you go in the black. And then that knuckle in the blue again. Little bushing down here in you go. Then we've got the sway bar end link in the black and the rear suspension arms. I say the suspension arms. All of the suspension arms are in this lovely metallic blue that looks a lot lighter down here. There's more sunlight coming through down the back than there is up the front. Let's just get all of these arms in. In we go. And then one more just sticking out the side here. Also in that blue. It is looking very blue. Not too much colour mixing going on, but it looks pretty good nonetheless. Then this rear shock is in the white, matching the front shock. And also the spring cap's also in white as well, giving the same effect with that blue spring and a black cap down there. Looking good. The knuckle housing, wheel hub, knuckle housing, whatever you want to call it, in the blue there with the actual rear wheel hub in the black. And then the brake disc, brake pad and brake caliper. We've also got the hub bearing in there. Get the caliper on in that lovely chrome blue. That's looking beautiful. And then the drive axles just in a black just to finish that piece off there. So there's a little bit of colour mixing, just not too much. Fuel tank in you go in the black with the fuel pump in a lovely little blue. Very much lighter blue because of the plastic, but looking good so far. I'm going to crack on and get the other side all finished. We'll move on and get the engine bay done before we go and build that beautiful V8. Here's all the suspension finished, mostly in that metallic blue with a bit of black and a little bit of white here and there, just to keep it looking good, fresh and cool. Really liking that, quite pleased with it. Not too much white. I know we did white in the last build in the black and white, but this is blue and black with white this time. But let's get on and get the engine bay done. Already got the fuse box in and ready to go. We've got power steering reservoir up here. We've got the ECU fully tuned Type B up here. Lovely little battery in there, plus a brake servo and a wishy-washy reservoir just hidden in there. ABS pump in that lovely metallic blue, along with the module on top, looking very sweet in there. Quite pleased with them. Let's carry on spinning around. We've got coolant reservoir B, and then we've got the radiator in there, looking very good in its metallic-y blue. Very, very pleased with all of this. Everything looks fantastic. Let's just take a look at the engine bay. As I said, the fuse box is just in black, tucked in down there. Everything else color-wise got a little bit of blue on it. ABS pumper module just up there, tucked in and looking good, along with that big old radiator on the front there. But that's it for the moment. Lovely little compartment for the battery I just noticed. But we need to go and build that V8. So let's head into the next room and let's crack on with this absolute monster here. Nice little ignition distributor camshaft to start there. Not a performance part for that one, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice. Then we got an ignition distributor up here in that lovely metallic blue with the cap in the lovely blue, but it's not metallic because of the plasticness of that part. Still looks pretty good. And then we got some lovely little white clips on there just to finish that off. Just down here, oil filter is in a white, but it's black and white. I think that fits quite well. And then we've got the fuel filter in a lovely little blue just up there. Engine heads are in the blue all the way around, looking great. Very metallic-y on the outside, but a bit duller on the inside. But that's how we like it, and we did manage to keep the red on the caps this time. Let's just get these spark plugs in. In you go, on you go, and in you go over there. We'll go over and pop the other head on, and then we'll get all of the innards done once we got these spark plugs in as well. So let's crack on with that. On we go, in we go, and then we'll just get all of these lovely little spark plugs in. Nice and simple. And then we'll talk about what's going on inside these engine heads. It's a little bit weird this time, a little bit, I say weird is probably not the right word, a little bit different. Camshafts just go in, sitting on top for the moment, floating, and then you've got 5 camshaft bearings on either side, ready to go on there, along with a lovely little cam gear just on the top. So I'll get all of them all in and finished, and then we'll move on to the front of this beautiful engine. There we go, camshafts all in, camshaft bearings are in, and also lovely little cam gears down the end are in. Now we get on with the front, lovely timing chain in there, and then these 5, oh, if I could click on them, 5 timing chain sprockets, looking very shiny in there. In we go. Let's just get all of these in, and then there's a few more bits to go on the front. I've never seen something like this one before. I quite like it, something new, something different, a new engine to play with. We always like that. Lovely little cam gear on the front here, and then a secondary timing chain, along with a big old metallic blue timing cover to cover that all up once we've finished with it. Looking pretty good in there. Crankshaft pulley in a little black down here. We've also got the alternator in a black on that side, and then over to this side, the power steering pump also in that black there. Looking pretty good. Another splash of white on the engine. We've got the water pump just in white on there. Looking pretty good with the water pump pulley in black on the top. And let's get this belt in and the other belt. We can do the other belt as well. And the fan. We can do the fan as well, which is in again, another blue on there, looking pretty good. There we go. That's that taken care of. Let's move on up. We've got cylinder head covers also in the white for an extra splash of that on here. Looking pretty good. Didn't want it too much. Wanted enough that you'd be able to see it and notice that there is some white on there. And also just make this blue pop a little bit more than it did, because it is a little bit dark in places. Intake manifold. Now, sadly, this one should 100% be a performance part, in my opinion, but it's not there yet. Might have got lost a little bit in translation within it. I'm sure it'll be updated soon. I have let them know, along with a couple of other bits, which we will talk about in a moment. In you go there, in that blue, looking fantastic. Done up, in we go. Then we got the mass airflow sensor, another new part. Don't know if this should have performance parts or not, so I'm not worried about that one, but we have just done that one in a black. But this piece here, the mechanical fuel injection, on the Pagoda, there's a performance part version of the mechanical fuel injector, so I'd assume it should be the same here. Sadly, this one doesn't have it. Still looks good in its blue, though. Very pleased with that. Let's crack on. A round air filter base in the metallic blue. Now, the round air filter does have a performance part. You can see it's red there. I haven't done anything color-wise to this, but it's no longer red. It sits in a grey. Doesn't make any difference. I just found that a little weird. That was all. Back on with the cover in the lovely little blue, and then we've got some black ignition wires to finish that off. And then a distributor cover, another new part. We've done that one just in a blue. Quite dark to sort of match it all in. Looking pretty good. Let's get these exhaust manifolds in. These are chrome black, which means the whole exhaust system is going to be chrome black front to back. Looking very good on there. Let's just get you in. Last piece, I believe. We'll just have a quick double check to make sure we have got everything. Does look like it. I believe that is everything. Looking pretty good. Blue, black and white. Maybe too much with the white. Sort of copying a little bit what I did with the Pagoda. Not quite different style engine, but still looking very good. I'm going to grab some pictures of this beast, and then we'll get it dropped in the 560 SEC. Let's get this beautiful brand new V8 dropped into our lovely 560 SEC. Hopefully this is going to look pretty good in there. In you go. Let's get you put away and take a look. That white definitely pops in there. The blue's a different color, which I love. I was definitely aiming for that. Didn't want the matte blue clogging up the engine on this one. Looking very good in there. Mostly the white stands out, but that metallic blue on the top definitely looks pretty good. Let's get underneath. We've got a few bits to go in, especially that exhaust, which looks fantastic in this car. Can't wait to see it all in that chrome black. But we've got to get underneath. Let's start with the gearbox. In we go, just in a metallic blue. I've tried my hardest to match it, as I always do, but it's not quite perfect, but very, very close. In with the starter, we kept it in a blue. I quite like the blue theme going on here. It's a lot of blue. Really liking that. Then we got front exhaust sections in this chrome black. Carry on going around with the exhaust, looking excellent in that chrome black work there. And then the final piece that can't have a performance part at the moment is the rear muffler. All of the other exhaust has performance part, just the rear muffler isn't available, which is a bit of a shame, which is one of the reasons why I force chromed all of this out so that it would all look the same, even though these were the shiny metal parts and this is the dull metal part. But there we go. In with the drive shaft, kept that one in a metallic blue for that lovely blue strip running down the middle there. Looking very, very good. That's it for the moment, though. We need to get some beautiful wheels done. Some liquids topped up. Just topped up will do. We don't need them tipped. They'll be all right, thank you. Get the liquids all topped up. Get some wheels done. They're probably going to be white wheels on this one. Even though I've done the black livery, I think white wheels will look really good on this blue. There's the extra splash of white we're going to do. So we're going to get all of that done along with the windows tinted. And I'll see you outside in the sun in just a moment. Well, here it is then, all finished with the second Mercedes-Benz from the newest DLC. Looking absolutely beautiful, this 560 SEC. Looking stunning in that blue. We've got metallic blue, white, and black on the engine there. We've also got that metallic blue, a little bit of black and white in the underneath. Looking very good, and obviously you can see I did finish these rims in a beautiful white. They are the SEC rims, because why would you put anything else on this one? They look fantastic. We've done them in a white, and I've also increased the size quite a lot. They start on the car as a 15-inch. These right here are a 19-inch. No, they're not. They're a 20-inch rim. I was going to put 19s, and I decided to go with 20s because I think they looked a bit better. But they're 20-inch rims. The fronts here are a 215 width with a 40 profile on there. Looking very, very good. Down the back, also a 20-inch rim. Slight bit wider. These are 235 width, still with a 40 profile on there. Looking very good. Very, very pleased with this one. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It's turned out looking so, so good. But let's jump inside and check out the interior. Obviously, I've put my lovely blue seats in there. Doesn't quite go with the brown theme that's going on inside this car, but the rest of the car is blue. So I decided blue seats would fit it quite well. Loving the woodwork on the dash and center console there. Looking beautiful. But let's hear the newest V8 in the game. How does this one sound? Let's find out. Bit of a grumbly tick over, sounding a little bit different. I quite like that. That's the resonator on the exhaust. That's what that is. Let's give it some gas. Ooh. That's got some bite at the top end. Oh, yes. Definitely liking the sound of that one. That's sounding very good. But let's get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is today and what this one's drag rating is. Here we are then on the dyno with the 560 SEC Mercedes-Benz with its V8 M117 engine, 389 factory horsepower. How much have we added with the performance parts today? Only a couple missing, so it should be quite good. A gain of 316 horsepower, 82%, actually pretty good in comparison from base. Only 704 total measured horsepower, and the drag rating a lowly A. 418. I think we're right on the cusp of A-class there. That could be a bit of a challenging set of drag races for us in a tournament in just a few minutes. But let's go over and check out the gearbox tuning setup for today. There she is. I've gone for a 2.6 ratio with this brought way up to 72 kilometers an hour in first gear. Everything adjusted ever so slightly, plus adding an extra gear with a top speed of 334 kilometers an hour. Already got the ECU fully tuned. No carburetor. Let's get over to the drag strip. Let's see who we're up against today and if we've got any friends in the competition. Here we are then on the drag strip with the Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC. Fully tuned almost and ready to go on to a King of the Sands tournament. 1 mile. We are in A-class. Only 418. We're literally just in A-class there. Bit of a shame. We'll see who we've got. Let's get in. Pay the 1,000 entry fee. And who have we got today? And a nice varied range of opponents there. Not too bad. Our first opponent is the Smith & Parker Outlaw N, which is a good one on there. Who else have we got in here today? Country Thang in an XJ220. Very, very nice. Jackal in the Beetle Type 1 stance. Looking good over there. Pie's back in with the replica Aston Martin, a DBR1. Looking a pretty sweet on there. That's pretty cool. Let's get into it. Let's see if we can beat our first opponent with the Smith & Parker Outlaw N. Well, there it is, the Smith & Parker Outlaw N. Looking like a bit of a tractor next to us on the start line. This, I'm going to say, should be easy. Judging by the looks of the vehicle, it should be easy, but I know how well they can be tuned, so it might be a little bit difficult. And this is definitely not the quickest. Let's find out if we can win. Let's go. Off the line in the little SEC into second gear there, not doing too bad. Up into third, holding its own, just about starting to pull away now. Definitely very happy with that. Come on, little car, into fourth gear. Are we still in the lead? We are. Looks like we might have this one in the bag, as long as that doesn't start wrapping up the gears out of nowhere. Where are we going to cross the line at? What sort of speed are we going to get to? And what will be our quarter mile plus the 1 mile times? Cross the line. What have we got with this one today? 11.193. Definitely not the quickest to the quarter mile, and only just beating out that Smith & Parker Outlaw. 27.855 seconds to the 1 mile. A little bit on the slow side, but we did manage to smash out the Smith & Parker Outlaw. 300 kilometers an hour with top speed, though, is not too bad. Let's get back. Let's see who's still in and who we're up against next. Sadly, Pi, you went out in the first round this time. Not the greatest. Jackal's still in the stance. Beetle. Country Thang's still in the Jaguar XJ220. And our next opponent is the Jeep Cherokee XJ lifted, not the race car version, the lifted up jacked 4x4 version. Let's get in and take a look at that and see if we can beat it. Not the normal type of opponent you expect to see on a drag strip there. A lifted up Jeep Cherokee. You expect to see that one pulling cars out of the sand dunes or mud piles and stuff like that it's got stuck in. Not necessarily on a drag strip. Lining up against a 560 SEC Mercedes-Benz. Can we beat it? Let's go. Off the line. Away we go. Into second. Nice and easy there. Into third. Oh, that's not into third. That's into third. But I think we were far enough in the lead. I pressed the button to look sideways rather than to change gear. Getting a bit confused here. Let's change into fourth. We're pulling towards the wall just a little bit. Try and straighten out there. It does look like we are well and truly in the lead, though. This should be quite easy. Are we going to get a slightly better time? Let's get across the line. Let's find out what we've got. There we go. Across the line. A little bit slower. I think some of the weaving I had to do definitely slowed us down just a little bit there. 11.5 to the quarter of a mile. Definitely slower than our first run. And 28.378 to the 1 mile. Again, it's slower still, but we did manage to smash out the lifted Jeep Cherokee. I don't even know why that was in there. A bit random, but there we go. 298 top speed, a little bit slower. Let's get into the next one, see who we're up against. Sadly, Jackal is out as well now. It's just Country Thang still in, and it is our next opponent, that beautiful XJ220. Realistically, I think that XJ would beat us. But we've got a few performance parts, a little bit of a tune. Let's find out what we can do. There's that beautiful Jaguar XJ220. Is that in a purple on the line there? It definitely looks like purple, but it looks beautiful nonetheless. Love that car. Let's get in and see if we can beat it in our lovely little Mercedes. Let's go. Off the line. Come on, little car. Into second. We can beat the XJ220 into third. But we have smashed it off the line. Maybe we will absolutely demolish this one. No problem at all. I expected this one to give us a little bit of an issue, but it looks like we're going to be all right. Hopefully this will be the best run so far, with under an 11-second speed on the time there. Over 300 kilometers an hour for the top speed. Hopefully this one's going to be good. Let's get across the line. Let's find out. There we go, across the line. What have we got? 11.186 is our fastest run of the day to the quarter of a mile, but sadly a little bit slower, only at 299 kilometers an hour. 27.843 to the 1 mile is also ever so slightly just about our quickest time to the 1 mile. Just a shame the speed was a little bit off there, but there we go. We've made it into the final. Who are we up against, and can we win? Sorry, Country Thang. I had to get to the final against the Nissan GTR R35. That should definitely be a challenging opponent for us in the final. Can we beat that one and take away all of the winnings? That GTR looking beautiful. A little bit of a boring colour, if I do say so, but the car itself still looks absolutely gorgeous. Can we beat it in the 560 SEC? If I'm being honest, I doubt it, but there's only one way to find out. Let's go. Come on, little Mercedes, off the line, into second. We need to get a good run in here. Into third, we can do... Oh, well, okay. Bit shocked by that, but there we go. Definitely expected that Nissan to do a lot better than that off the line. At the very least, will it catch us up? I don't want it to, because I'm quite happy to take this tournament, take all the winnings for myself, add to the profit of this car before we get there. Let's get into top gear. Let's get across the line Let's see what we've got for times and speed. That was another 300 kilometers an hour by the looks of it. Is the rest of it going to be any better? 11.280. Sadly not. And a 27.960. Not our fastest run, but top speed-wise, still on par with our very first run there. Awesome. We have won another tournament. I definitely expected the GTR to do a lot better than it actually did. Just over 12.5 seconds to the quarter of a mile. I find that a bit shocking. And over 30 seconds to the 1 mile. Not a very good tune on that one there, my friend. You definitely could have done a lot better. But thank you for giving us the tournament win. There's our winnings, 11,250. Take away our £1,000 entry fee, 10,250 profit. Before we've even begun, we managed to win a tournament. I'm a little bit surprised by that. A very low A-class car. Thought this one would get beaten quite often, but it seems like the opposition seem to be relative par, which is definitely very, very good. Let's get back to the garage. Let's say goodbye to the 560 SEC. Well, there it is then, all finished with the 560 SEC. Not too shabby. Definitely not the quickest on the speeder board, with an 11.186 to the quarter of a mile, a 27.843 to the 1 mile, with a top speed of 299 kilometers an hour. That time there pits it 32nd on the speeder board, only faster than the Satsuma Amp GT and the Pagoda that we did in the very last episode. But this looks absolutely fantastic. Let's talk some facts and figures about this one. I bought the car for 92,040 credits, and if I was to try and sell the car at the beginning, I would have lost out on 24,741, almost 25,000's worth from this beautiful little car here. Then we since spent another 64,563 modifying, upgrading, and getting this car how you see it today, all coloured, tuned up, ready to go, looking absolutely beautiful. Paying a total spend of 157,603, which is quite a bit from the 560 SEC. The real question is, though, can we make a profit from this one? There is only one way to find out. Let's jump in. Let's take a look. Well, here it is then, all 100% finished, looking absolutely fantastic. 110,000 kilometers on there. Not too bad from a car from the 1990s. That W8, no, that V8 M117 engine now up to 704 horsepower, a gain of 82%. Not too shabby, considering it only started with 389 horsepower. Pretty good, in all honesty. Can we make some money, though? With a sale price of 207,534, we definitely can. Take away our spend of 157,603, leaves us with a profit of just under 50,000, 49,931. But take into consideration our winnings from the drag tournament, leaves us with a full profit of 60,181 from this brand new 560 SEC. If you don't have the DLC already, I recommend going and get it if you can afford it. It is definitely a cool DLC with 5 cars and 5 engines. But it's time to say goodbye to the 560 SEC. Off you go. Definitely a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. What have we got next? It is another Mercedes. Obviously, you all knew that already. This is the 500e 4-door. Looking absolutely stunning. Let's have a look at this one. 117,000 kilometers on here. We got it from the auction house. Again, the slightly semi-decent one. Almost everything above 60%. Parts just below at 59. Another brand new engine with the V8 M119 engine in this one. This time with 326 factory horsepower. Not quite as good as this one. Maybe this one will have all of the performance parts. We'll have to find out in the next episode. We will be back on Monday with this one. Did I get a good deal, or did I lose out on 25,000 again? Well, not quite 25,000, but we definitely didn't get a good deal. 73,882 is what I paid, and I can sell it right now for 62,281, losing out on 11,601, but it's not too bad. This is going to be for next time, and that is it for today's video. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please consider clicking that subscribe button, joining us here as a member of the Virtual Mechanic family. We are trying to get up to 500 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. Hopefully by the 19th of February, we will see. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. If you guys can help me out with that, absolutely fantastic. If not, I totally understand. Again, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, whatever it is in the world you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.